What is up, my weebs and weebettes? Super Weeb Elijah here, and today I'm doing a bit of a different video. Today I'm doing, what am I doing? Today I'm going to be going through and ranking the SCP-001 proposals. I'm not putting them in order from best to worst or anything. Instead, I'm going to go through one by one and just give them a score out of 10. Now, don't worry, you won't have to see me reading them, mainly because my glasses don't cover my eyes at all, but also because that would be boring and also take a few hours. Also, because I just realized there have been more added recently, this is likely going to be a multi-part thing. Now, as you can see, there's a couple I've already read. I will be rereading them so I can give them a fair shot. And of course, some of these are really long. I'll probably be saving Ouroboros for last, simply because it is the longest one. I'm going to read the article and then give it a score out of 10, basically. That's all you need to know. If you don't know what the SCP Wiki is, it's basically like a creative writing website based around a central theme of the SCP Foundation, which is dedicated to securing, containing, and protecting, that's what SCP stands for, anomalous objects or creatures, etc. That's the concept, that's what you need to know about it. SCP-001 is not a single entity, but instead is actually an ongoing list of entities. Some of these explain how the Foundation started, some of them don't. That's not going to be a point in my in my rankings, because I don't think it's fair to rank that. If you don't want to put that in your article, you don't have to. So I'm just going to go through these, I'm going to read them, and I'm going to rank them. And this is probably going to be one of multiple parts, depending on how long it takes me to read these. But, yeah, so let's get into the first one. This one is Sheaf of Papers. This is Jonathan Ball's proposal. Each of these proposals is made by, like, a doctor of the Foundation, or rather just a member of the Foundation Wiki, the Foundation website. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna read this here first one. I don't think we're off to a great start with this one. I'll describe this a little bit, but I really recommend that you read any or all of these proposals for yourself, so I'm not gonna go into detail. If you want, you can even just pause the video and read it here. I'll scroll up and then scroll back down. There you go. But basically, it's this one describes a sheaf of papers that is stapled up in the corner, you know, like every assignment you got in school. And when it's opened, it shows one of the SCPs, and I guess the only real problem that I have with the immediate concepts there is that there are over 5,000 SCPs. I don't know if I can believe that despite the extensive containment procedures for a stack of paper, it's managed to be open almost 6,000 times. Like, I don't know, I don't think I believe that. I'm sure this was, as it says down here, it's been opened over 1,000 times. I guess if it's mistakenly opened, maybe it's blown open by a breeze or something, it still counts as being opened. And it's unknown if this is an advanced warning system, or what it creates, or if it creates the anomalies. That's kind of interesting. But, okay. Besides the almost 6,000 SCPs thing, because this was clearly written back when there were only a little over 1,000 SCPs, so it's more believable if you look at it from that perspective. But aside from that, this is a 3-paragraph long special containment procedures. No actual procedures are listed in here, and the special containment procedures are usually very important, especially in a Keter article. If you don't know, Keter is one of the object classes. It means it's very hard to contain. This tends to be also associated with the most dangerous SCPs, but the SCP doesn't necessarily have to be dangerous to be Keter. It just has to be hard or nearly impossible to contain. But regardless, sorry, I'm getting off track. These special containment procedures do not have any procedures. It says they're in a code-locked briefcase, and then it says they've been also stored in an independent building. But the rest of it is just building up how dangerous this is. And then when it turns out to be a sheaf of papers, that almost comes off as a joke. And yet, we'll get to a joke proposal later by DJ Cactus, and this isn't listed as a joke proposal. And I have to believe it's a normal proposal. Overall, if you want to read this for yourself, I'm sure you'll see more of the issues I have with it. But it just, I think this is just an average one. I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 10. Alright, next up we got, Dr. Gears. I actually know Dr. Gears. This one's titled The Prototype. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So I already like this because it changes the usual SCP format. So you can tell this was kind of before the Foundation. Because like with the last one, it's like, oh, this is the start of the Foundation. The founder just discovered this sheaf of papers that was anomalous. But this one actually changes the... Oh, this is very short. This one changes the format, though. Okay, so I'm gonna read this real quick, and then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, done reading. I'm not really sure how to go about this. This isn't written like a normal SCP article. It's written more like just a general report, and I like that. I like the style of this one. You know, it clearly shows that this is a new thing. That SCP-001 is something special. It has an item designation number instead of an SCP number. That's cool. There's no special containment procedures or description. Although I have to say the visual description here is very comprehensive and detailed. But okay, down here it gives it gives a description of its abilities and its personality, I guess. I don't know if I missed something up here, but let me look. Here it mentions a sick and well state that I didn't see mentioned before, that I don't really understand. I guess it has 2 states that it can be in. One where it is like kind of more emaciated or like slow or damaged in some way. And then, well, I guess it would be just normal, its normal form. I like this article more than the last one. But if the formatting was just the same as a normal SCP article, and this addendum was removed, I feel like that's all it would be. It would just be another SCP article. And really, I guess I just wanted more out of this. I mean, I know it was short, but I was expecting something more. I do like this little detail that the special containment procedures were developed by Dr. Herman Keter. That's kind of nice. I do like that. I'm going to give this one... Let's see. I think I'm gonna give this one a 5. It's a little better than the last one. It's creative, but it just doesn't have the content to push it into the good zone. This one's the Gate Guardian. I know this one. This one I've actually This is I've definitely read this one before. This was the first 001 proposal I heard about, and so I thought it was just 001 for a while. As you can see, it has a higher rating than the last two up here. This rating system, by the way, works kind of like Reddit, where the upvotes and downvotes are put together, and if the number is positive, it has more upvotes than downvotes. Negative has more downvotes. This is also like that. So I mean, it's impressive that it has this higher rating. There aren't that many articles with a rating over 1,000. Oh gosh. Okay, so this one's significantly longer and mentions a lot more SCPs, which really just means that there are other popular works by this author. Oh wait, hold on. There's an extender. Oh nope, this is just Dr. Clef, self-advertising. So I'll just open this over here. Dr. Alto Clef has an anomalous effect where his head appears to be random animals or objects in images. That was kind of his original thing. Although there's definitely a lot here. I'm not going to read all of it, that's for sure. Um Alright, this will probably take me a little while to read, but it looks more in depth. I imagine this will probably go above 5 already just for sheer content, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. I have to say that one was a lot better. I really like this actually. Um the Gate Guardian itself is large, intimidating, works immediately as an SCP-001. Simply because of its sheer force, I feel like it works. Um, Up here, object class Euclid slash Keter. That's not how object classes work. I would expect Dr. Clef to know that, but I guess it switches depending on the situation? Or maybe it's mid transition to Keter from O5 or whatever. Regardless, this is pretty interesting. The being, when approached, gives a command, mostly forget, which causes the person to leave and totally forget they've ever seen 001. That's already interesting. It can just give you a one word, uh, unrefusable directive. It's constantly still. It has a sword that is about the heat of the sun, apparently, um, which can hit a theoretically infinite number of targets simultaneously if they enter within a kilometer of it. 076 and 073 are both related to this. It does have connections to religion. I don't know much about any religion. But 076 and 073 are Abel and Cain, respectively. So, that's interesting. The articles mentioned in this here document, you can see I've read all of them except 098. I'm going to read that real quick, see if it adds anything to the article. Out of the SCPs listed here, it almost seems that this report is supposedly marked as a date in the future, and it's theorized that at that point, 001 will begin moving and leave the door open for Cain and Abel. If you don't know who Cain and Abel are, I'm sorry, I don't really either. I mean, I know what the SCPs do, but I don't have a great idea of what their actual role is. Regardless, the other three SCPs mentioned here, 995, 616, and 098. Out of all of them, 616 I understand the most. Basically, it's a door with satanic markings that, if ever opened, is theorized to cause an end of the world scenario. That makes sense in relation to this. 098995, I didn't really notice a connection, but I did just skim the articles, so if you want to read this and prove me wrong, feel free to. But yeah, I thought this was really interesting, and I liked this proposal quite a bit. It was interesting to read. Um, I'm gonna give this one a. I think I'm gonna give this an 8. I really like this. Let's see what we got up next. Alright, this one's QNTM's proposal. It was called The Lock. I think I've read this one, but I don't really remember it, so we'll see how good it is. Let's see, just how long is it? It's not that long. It's not as long as the last one. Ratings only 352. Most of these have pretty high ratings, all things considered. Probably just because more people have read 001 proposals than some other articles, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna get to reading this one now. Okay, this is another good one, I'd say. I do like this. I guess the only problem I have about this is there's nothing making it 001. But I'm not gonna require it. I'm just gonna judge this as an article. This is actually pretty interesting. I like the descriptions, the log, the acquisition report. Um, it's the title is The Lock, and it does there's a key that can open it. Supposedly, like a rock. I'm not gonna describe this one very much because this is honestly one I would hope you guys go and watch. But it's supposedly supposed to contain something called a pact. I hope that's how you pronounce that. Um, but there's supposedly a key to the lock that has not yet been recovered, and I guess that's kind of the mystery of it. The thing's totally indestructible, and there's a reveal later on that it reflects the patterns of the cosmic microwave background on the stone. That's cool. I do quite like this. I think I'm gonna give this a 6. Just for reference, I can give multiple proposals the same number rating. I just haven't so far. This one's a 6. Um, the factory. Oh gosh. Okay. If I remember correctly, the factory is really long. Yeah. Alright, and this is in the format of a tale, which is more like a short story than a standard. Um, you know, than a standard SCP article. Uh, wow, that was that was that was incredible. This is the best one so far. The format as a tale instead of an SCP opens up a lot. It means that questions don't necessarily have to be answered. The description doesn't have to be super detailed. It's just someone telling a story. There's a part that I wasn't sure about here, where it mentions the angel with the flaming sword and just disregards it, and then kind of says that this one that kind of feels like it's throwing shade at another proposal, and I don't know if I'm okay with that, but regardless, this is really incredible. I think you should all read this. I don't think I should give you any more detail than I need to. The factory, the factory takes a back seat here. Honestly, this is about the creation of the Foundation, and it's really interesting. Uh, Again, link in the description to 001. Go read this. This is. I think I'm gonna give this a 10. I think this is a 10 out of 10 for me. This is pretty amazing. But anyway, Dr. Man, the Spiral Path. Um, okay. So this one, you might be wondering why I'm on a different page now. This bit here, this part really doesn't matter that much. What really matters is document 105, which, I mean, it's definitely good. It's got something to it, but it just feels like it wants to be the factory, and it isn't. It's not. It's nowhere near as good as the factory. As you can see, it's a fraction of the length. This is supposed to be a document to introduce someone to replace um, one of the administration, one of the O5, but man, it just turns into a story, um, and it ends pretty abruptly. There's nothing about it that really makes it seem formatted to an introductory document, um, even though that's the format it framed itself around. I guess. Hmm, I think I'm gonna give this one like a 4. If I'd read it before the factory, it might have been higher, but this just feels like it's copying the factory almost. Let's see. That one actually didn't take that long to read, so I probably got time for one more. I'm gonna read this one, this last one here. Oh gosh, okay. This one is of significant length. So yeah, I think this will definitely be the last one I read today. Um, this is a bit of a mediocre one to end on, but I've assigned it as my job to give you my opinion on it. So, okay. This reminds me of some of the SCP-5000 proposals, like, well, just SCP-5000 itself, but also 5999, in that its goal is to make you ask questions. The goal of this article is to make you question and formulate your own theories. Now, I actually read 5999 earlier today, and it is my favorite article on this entire website now. It is the most intriguing article I've ever read. It is incredibly creatively done, and I really do recommend that you read it. And when you do, open the access terminal. You'll know what I mean when you get there. Read it on a computer. The experience is so much better. But regardless, for this one, this is confusing, or I guess not confusing. It gives you bits and pieces, and it's not comprehensive or very coherent. All it does is present information and then say there might be a document that links all this information together, but we haven't found it yet. And it does present some interesting concepts, but the whole thing is just not engaging at all. Gosh, I think I'm gonna have to. I was just honestly very bored reading this, which I can't even the not great ones earlier. I can't say I was bored while reading them. They were still interesting, even if I didn't end up liking them all that much. This one was just boring. I think I'm gonna have to give this like a 1 out of 10. Okay, well that's it for today. Um, I really recommend you go off and read these proposals yourself. I'll put a link to the 001 hub in the description. There will also be a link to 5999 in the description, because it is the best SCP article I've ever read, and I think you should all go read it. If you agree or disagree, just leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.